I was just listening to these cows who are there.
Yes.
What is their intention, I wonder? Could there be that they're just resting in their present moment also? That's why they can move so quiet. Were it not for the cowbells, you wouldn't even hear them. Just quietly, munching away at the grass, and everyone moving in their own speed. They each have their own, look, they each have their own way. One wants to go, one wants to go. There's no shepherd here, no farmer here at the moment. They're just moving in their nature. It has become such a deeply woven habit that we have to have an intention and a projection and to dream. And for much of it, we are not aware of the cost of it in terms of it doesn't allow the space that is so important for a healthy life, which is a space that is not occupied or preoccupied, the space of being. And the space of being is the most important for your physical well-being, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. We seem to cram as though we have an inner diary that we have to, plan and put things in and to try and follow them. It is a habit that has become so much integrated with our human expression. And yet I see how much it robs us of peace and of the space to appreciate the silence that is very much at the very core of true and healthy existence. When we anticipate or plan or project, you already move away from the present moment. And we feel sometimes through the mind that present moment is kind of like there's a kind of impatience. I don't want to keep still. I have to move on. I have to do something. But this is not a truthful. It's not a truthful response from inside. It really leads to a kind of a slowly developing anxiety, a state of anxiety that can be it's so unexpectedly and undetectedly seeps into the being. We carry this kind of energy as though you're charged with some kind of restlessness. And some people even interpret restlessness as a kind of, spiritual speed, a kind of speed, like a good thing that keeps me up and running. But for those of you who have begun to, you're in the process of awakening and becoming more acquainted with your natural state of being. You see that you have not lost anything of value by stepping off, this fast lane. Somehow quietly, in the quietness and the quietude of your own being, a different level of accomplishment is there. An accomplishment of stability and peace and clarity of mind and purity of thought and purity of presence begins to emerge within you. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Isn't that a wonderful thing? And so I would just like to take the opportunity while I can to share and to remind us of this. How important to avoid, what did I use the word? It was
intention.
Intention, too much intention.
Yes.
In fact, intention creates inner tension. It's because it's always, the being cannot rest. Just like we go to bed in the night and we take rest. We take unconscious rest. It is also important to have conscious rest also, which you are aware of yourself beyond the functioning of what I'd call the instrumental self, the terrestrial being, the earthly nature, you see. Integrate that with the deeper consciousness. It might feel in some people, they may say, but I mean, if I come to this sense of being empty, I feel like, I'm not achieving anything. I'm just sort of, that itself makes me anxious. I said, yes, because it's the habit to create a space within oneself is, it may at first appear to be, wow, it's so passive, and, what is the point of that? What do you achieve by that? And I said, okay, you would come back again to need to achieve. But you can only achieve upon and within and from something that you are already. And I think it's important to look into what are you already. Before you pick up something, what are you? Are you incomplete or you see? And don't underestimate the power of silence, Not all trying to be silent, no, but of recognizing that which is here by itself before any effort is made. And just be conscious of that. It's not trying to make yourself into something. In fact, we are doing that all the time, trying to make ourselves into some shape. I feel it's a very healthy advice to recognize what is already shapeless within you, which is formless and present, so spacious, you see. And in that spaciousness, and many people can confirm, even some of the great inventors and people who are famous now for inventions and great ideas, it did not come when they were pushing their minds and trying so hard also. Sometimes in a moment of quiet relaxation and an interned tension, something gets revealed. We have to remember, my place of speaking is that something in us is already complete. And from this completeness comes to the mind, you see, like a gift, a revelation. And then this revelation, it kind of flows out into the world. And now, I am not so interested about things and flowing out into the world. I'm just saying within your own self, to come to that beautiful, stateless state of being. And to rest in it, pay some attention to that, give some respect for that, and see that it is not just a bland, dull space. In fact, it's actually even the greatest movements, the greatest pulsations or dynamicness in the life comes from that silence. Although the silence loses nothing to it, because when you are conscious of your silence, then you may express through more dynamic ways, but still it's rooted in that silence. And that's a very healthy place. So reflect on this, please, those of you who feel that it appeals to you, and begin your experience right away. It's not something I say, if you do this for 6 weeks. No, immediately you'll find that also the blood pressure for many people begins to just drop by itself. The breath slows down, because the breath and the mind are quite connected, It slows down. Begin to notice, in fact, your field of perceiving broadens, you see. When you're personal, it gets very narrow. When you're in your heart again, it becomes very open. Don't be afraid of this openness. Can anything be more open than God? So when you're in your openness, you're in your God field again. And I cannot try to describe what it is like. You see, serene, happy, all-encompassing, wise, and peaceful. Thank you.